Hey, friends. This is what happens when you wear a green dress with a green screen. Your digital world doesn't know what's happening. Hello, everyone. So we are talking about clothing today, so I guess it's fitting that my outfit uh, is contrasting and creating some drama with the screen behind me. So, what kind of signals are you giving yourself by the way you dress? Today is Badass Beautiful Fridays, so here you go. What does the clothing you wear say to you or say to your body? What does it say to your mind? What does it say to the people around you? Clothing is not just about vanity. It's actually one of the fastest and the most accessible identity tools available to any person. And this is particularly important if you are someone who is in the process of becoming someone new. You know, this week I've been doing the Liberated Coach Challenge, and all the women that are in that program, there are 18 women that have been coming through, watching the replays, sending me messages, and signing in for the shows each day, for the episodes each day. These are 18 women who are, I don't want to say they're sick and tired of being where they are, but they are sick and tired of being where they are. And they are using the energy of this Lionsgate portal, but they're also, of course, letting me guide them through this transformation. And I think this is something we take for granted when we're doing deep healing work, when we're doing energy work. Your system does not wait for the external results before it decides who you are. It actually reads the signals that you give it every single day, including what you put on your body when you get up in the morning, what you put in your body, but that's a different episode, okay? So for women who dress deliberately for the identity that she is stepping into, it might feel like pretending, but it's not. Actually, it's practicing. She's giving her body and her subconscious mind, her energetic field, and the environment around her a daily signal that the woman who has already built the business has arrived. Okay. She's doing that before the bank account confirms it, before the client roster fills up, before her calendar gets full, before the external world has actually started reflecting back to her that decision. So the peak of Lionsgate is tomorrow. And this is like the most powerful manifestation day of the year. And there is no more direct or immediate way to like fully embody your future self than to open up your wardrobe and choose from your future self, your liberated self, the woman that you want to be on the other side of the Lionsgate portal. I find that to be really exciting. I'm excited about this. So, most women coaches are dressing for a version of themselves that no longer exists. And I I think, I want to be careful with how I'm saying this because I don't want to cast shade at anyone. And I also don't want to be critical about the choices that someone chooses for their dress. But some women don't consider the soul within when they get dressed. Some women do. But many women are still stuck in the corporate wardrobe from the career she left, or those casual clothes that made sense when she was working from home and not being seen. And I just strongly believe that it is worth it for every woman to ask herself, what in the world do you want? And listen to what she says. Because this is not about dressing right, but this conversation is about understanding that there's something in your soul that wants to be expressed, and maybe, just maybe, it is being hidden by convention. And maybe you are missing out on some wisdom that might be coming from your soul. Now, number one, I thought that I wanted to be more conservative. I thought, I'm getting older. I should be more conservative with my dress. And I went through a period of dressing more conservatively. And last year, no, it was about a year and a half ago. Yeah, about a year and a half ago, I went through this really beautiful period where I decided not to do that, but I listened to my soul. And do you know where my soul led me? Do you know where my soul led me? My soul led me to some of the most prestigious high-end shopping experiences in Paris, France. It led me to experiences where I had personal shopping experiences. I tried on clothing that I never thought my body would even fit into, but it led me there, and it showed me things about my body at that time that I hadn't even realized, that I had taken for granted. I remember walking into YSL on the Champs-Élysées, and there was a person who became a friend, who was working there, and he laid out all these clothes for me. And my attitude was, it doesn't matter what the price is. I am going to try everything on, and I am not going to cringe. I'm not going to back down. I am not going to be afraid. I am not going to listen to any of the voices inside my head. I'm simply going to go for what feels the most exciting. And I did that. And what I discovered is that there was a part of me who literally thought that I did not belong in outfits that cost $10,000 or $20,000. That was a dialogue that I had been having in my head all my life, and I didn't know it. I would pick up a magazine like Vogue or Elle or whatever, Vanity Fair even, and I would see someone wearing something, and you know how they put the little prices down and who it's by, and I would think, oh, wow, that's so cool. And then I would turn the page as if that was never an option for me. And when I went to YSL last year, or it was actually the year before, it was not last year. When I went to YSL the year before, it was I left the shop and literally had to do shadow work for like a week. It was a week of dialogues about what was going on in my mind. And what I discovered was that number one, those people who dress like that are those people, and I'm these people over here that don't dress like that. Those people do those kinds of things, therefore they dress like that. I'm over here, I don't dress like that. Those people have those kinds of bodies, they dress like that. I'm over here, I don't dress like that. Those people over there have that kind of money. I don't have that kind of money. I'm gonna be over here. So, the reason this is important and the reason I'm sharing it with you is because if I hadn't listened to my soul, I never would have unlocked this other part of myself. And it's not about the money. I want to make sure you understand that it is not about the money or spending a certain amount of money. It is about being honest with yourself about what kind of beliefs are keeping you stuck where you are, because the beliefs that you're holding about what you can dress as and how you must look are the same beliefs that are running your business. And I want you to challenge yourself, because you're not going to break free from your business if you're not willing to break free from the outfits. So that's the point of today's topic. Welcome to the Spiritual Business Hour with Crystal Lynn Bell. I'm Crystal Lynn. I am a spiritual business mentor. I work with women coaches who want to have a coaching business that is built from their heart, led by their soul, but also makes six-figure income. And that is a very particular thing. A woman who is spiritual, who is connected to life force energy, who loves people, who lives from her heart, who wants to give of herself. That's who I work with. But here's the thing. You can't work with me if you are a woman who doesn't want more than just getting by, or just surviving, or just struggling, or just getting by. I work with women who say, you know what? I want more from my life, and I want to do my business right. I want consistent clients. I want consistent income. I want my calendar full of people. I want a waiting list. I want to put my class out there and I know people are going to come to it. I want offers that make sense, that are done well. I want my website to reflect my unique spirit, not to just be some generic stuff that I paid somebody to do, and then they said they're going to do my website and they put up a bunch of chat GPT stuff. Okay. I want to work with women who live from their soul and work from their soul, and they want their business to reflect their soul, which is why I'm having this conversation about how you dress. Because while I appreciate professionalism and whatever it is that's driving you and making you feel successful, I respect that. If you are going to be a coach, and if you are going to be living from your soul, living from your heart, then you have to be willing to listen to your soul and listen to your heart. And if your dominant self, your dominant personality is going to keep blocking those, you're not going to be able to hear yourself. You're not going to be able to hear your heart. And you're going to not be as magnetic as you could be. Magnetism is your best friend. Magnetism comes from your heart, it comes from your soul, it comes from authenticity, and it comes from taking action based on those things. And look, your soul, when you listen to your soul might be like, I'm a gypsy, I want to be a gypsy. And you might be like, uh, I am not going to be wearing gypsy clothes and calling myself a life coach. All right. Respect. Okay. I totally get that. But I want you to at least listen and negotiate with your soul when it says these things. Like I had a conversation with my inner child. My inner child is like, you know what? I'm in a chocolate phase. I want to be eating dark chocolate all the time. She didn't say dark chocolate. She said, I'll tell you what she said. She said, you know those ice cream bars from Haagen-Dazs that are dipped in chocolate and then they have the almonds on the outside? Yeah, that's what she said. I said dark chocolate twice a week. We can do that. Okay. It's a negotiation. So it's going to be about negotiating, but listening. You don't be dogmatic or dictatorial with your soul, with your heart. Listen, negotiate, and try things on. If your higher self or your self wants to be a gypsy and wants to be dressing with, bells and glitter or whatever it is, take the time to listen. Go try on some stuff. See if you can find a happy medium. I did that for myself and I'm very, very pleased with it. So I have for you today 8 ways to dress for the woman you are becoming. Number one is to do a wardrobe autopsy. Do you notice that I always start stuff off with an autopsy or some kind of an assessment? Yes, I do that because I love a good assessment. And for me, that's always a starting point. I'm very systematic. In case you haven't noticed, I like systems. For me, the starting point is always going to be to assess. So you're going to go through everything that you own and you're going to ask yourself one honest question about each piece. Does this belong to who I am becoming, or does it belong to who I used to be? So you might have a corporate blazer from the career that you left, okay? And, on the other hand, you might have those comfortable clothes that made sense when nobody was watching you, or they were watching you just from the top up, and you were like business up top and party down below. Okay. The outfit you wore when you just didn't feel like trying, right? Your and I'm laughing at myself with this one. Your elastic waist pants because, you know, your girl here has gained 30 pounds since coming back to California. I'm going to pause here and talk about these 30 pounds. First of all, this is another part for me of the becoming process. We are going to do an episode where we're talking about eating and food and the stress of building your own business, the choices you make and how to bring things in balance, how to keep things in balance, how to deal with change. All that stuff is really important. It's an important part of what we're doing. Um, but here's what I discovered. I'm going to just throw this out there to share with you about my weight gain. Because none of my clothes fit also. This is the other thing, right? I'm talking about these clothes and this is an issue because I have all these fabulous clothes and I cannot even get them over my thighs right now because 30 pounds is a big jump from, where I was. So yeah, can't fit my clothes. But the thing that I would want to share with you that I learned just in the last week, and it feels amazing, is that I'm one of these people who a year ago, I was looking at my body and I was criticizing it. And the year before that, I was looking at my body and I was criticizing it. I'm someone who has all the time criticized my own body. And what I just learned is that I finally am done. I don't care. It's not that I don't care what my body looks like, but I just looked in the mirror a couple of days ago and I'm like, you know what? Why is it that I actually criticize my belly? What's wrong with my belly? Why am I criticizing my arms and my neck? What's wrong with my arms and my neck? And I started thinking about paintings and, Renaissance paintings, oil paintings of these women who are voluptuous or they're big. And I thought, always think, oh, they're so beautiful. Oh, how beautiful is that? And why would I criticize myself? And I remembered how, like, throughout my years of weight gain, weight loss, weight gain, weight loss, I would always have the same kind of realization. When I got bigger, I would think back to a time when I was smaller, and I would say to myself, oh, I took for granted when I was smaller, I thought that I was big, and now that I'm bigger, I see that I was smaller. I hope this makes sense. But there's a weird kind of mentality that I've had all my life. When I'm big, I think, oh, I used to be small. But then when I was small, I'm thinking, oh, I'm so big. It is a weird mental thing. And look, we can blame it on society. We can blame it on whatever you want. You can blame it on whatever you want. I blame it on me making the choice to criticize myself and to live in a fantasy world. And this is bringing me back to the clothing, my friend. A lot of times we are dressing for somebody else. We're dressing for our moms. We're dressing for our girlfriends, our peers who are putting pressure on us. We're dressing for men. We're dressing for other women. And we're not dressing for ourselves. We're dressing for our job. We're dressing for our clients. And we're not dressing for ourselves nearly enough. And I just want to remind us that there is an opportunity to reassess and to actually dress purely for you because now you're no longer a child. You get to actually make the choices for what you want for yourself without anybody's input. Just ask yourself. That's all you have to do. So, step one is the wardrobe autopsy. You're going to pull out everything that belongs to that old identity and just take it out of rotation. You don't have to throw it away, but maybe just stop reaching for it by default. And then what you have left is the starting point for the wardrobe of the woman you are becoming. So that's a very simple thing that you can start right now. And it's not going to cost you any money, and you don't have to make any big decisions. You don't have to throw it away. Just rearrange your closet or tuck some things away. But either way, you want the things that are not default to be moved front and center, and all the kind of default choices get pushed aside so that they are no longer leading. Okay. And then number two, I see that Ria's here. Hi, friend. Thank you so much for joining. It's good to see you. So, number two is to define her style in 3 words. Okay. So, your soul, your heart, your liberated coach self, your future self, however you want to do it, define her style in just 3 words. So before you buy anything or you make a major change, get very specific about who she is, this woman that you are becoming. How does she dress? And don't be too broad. Try to get 3 specific words that describe the quality of her presence when she walks into a room. Maybe it's uh, powerful, feminine, and elegant. Or maybe it's bold, creative, and unconventional. Maybe it's polished and warm and unique or distinctive. Okay, polished, warm, and distinctive. Whatever the words are for you, write them down. And you don't have to, again, you don't have to make any big rational decisions, but just be with those words, understand what that means to you, and then, yeah, Do that. And I guess when with those words, every decision that you make from this point forward is going to be evaluated against those three words. And if it doesn't match, maybe that's not a part of who the woman you are becoming is. One of my words, one of my words is flirtatious. I never dressed flirtatiously. And here's the thing, okay? My flirtation is not directed at men. My flirtation now, because there used to be a time when I dressed for men, and I didn't call it flirtatious, I called it sexy. But now I dress flirtatiously, and my flirtatiousness is directed toward life. I'm flirting with life. I'm enjoying life. I'm playful with life. And it feels really good. I just had a feeling. I'm like, who's out there saying, you dress funny, Crystal Lynn? Crystal Lynn, you dress funny. Yeah, I might dress funny. Okay. I do. I might dress funny, but I don't care. It feels great. It feels great to put on clothing. And I'll tell you again with this weight gain, man, I went through a period of about 6 weeks where I was cringing every single time I had to get put on my clothing. It started when I was unable to fit into my last pair of jeans, like my last of my slim jeans, my Paris jeans, the jeans I could fit into when I was active and, living in Paris, walking everywhere. That's basically the way I kept my weight off, was walking all the time. I loved it. I put those jeans on, I couldn't button them up, and then that is when the anxiety set in. And for 6 weeks straight, I literally had revulsion every time I went to put on my clothing, because I had to buy bigger clothing. So I finally bought some bigger clothing. I had no choice. And even the bigger clothing was so uncomfortable around my belly, because that's where all my weight goes. And that was really challenging in so many ways. Um, but I also, you know, my attitude started shifting because I just saw my own patterning, and I thought, I am not going to let this rob me of my life force energy. That was kind of like my mantra. I'm not going to let this rob me. And I had to go through my period of struggling. But then, as I said this week, the struggle stopped. And I just said, forget about it. I just love my body. I was avoiding looking in the mirror. And this last week, I've been looking in the mirror butt naked and confronting my greatest fear. My greatest fear. I'm trying to get in the camera. That's confronting my greatest fear, which is the fear of my fat belly. Confronting that and being naked and just letting it be. Thank God I got over that. Thank God. So again, uh, there you go. Let me get into number 3. Dressing for the camera before you turn it on. All right. Now, this is about going live. This isn't about dressing for the camera all the time. Okay. I knew that when I said this, I didn't want you to think that I meant like you got to be dressed like you're going on camera all the time. That's not what I mean. But it's just that a lot of coaches decide what they're going to wear for a live stream, like the same way they decide what they're going to have for breakfast, whatever is available and whatever requires the least effort. So I want you to stop doing that. I want you to kind of like decide even the night before. Choose something that belongs to your future self and that feels good in your body. Okay? In your body. May not feel good on your body, but if it feels good in your body, I want you to wear that. Now, What do I mean when I say if it feels good in your body, it may not feel good on your body? This is again about listening to your soul. So I have, okay, 30 pounds overweight, okay? My soul loves this hot pink tube top. She loves it. Even right now, thinking about it, my little heart is going pitter patter, bursting with love. Okay. Now, that tube top is made out of elastic and it is like a size small, and I'm a size medium large right now. Okay. When I put that pink tube top on, and last time I wore it, I put it on upside down, which was hilarious. And I didn't know it was upside down. I had a feeling it was upside down, okay? But I just couldn't be bothered to think about it because, again, I'm in that place of I'm just going to love my body. So it felt incredibly awkward. But that's kind of what I mean right there. It felt weird on my body because it's really, really, really tight. And so what's happening is because my jeans are tight and the bra is tight, I got these incredible love handles that are squeezing out. So my body goes like boop, where all these love handles are, and it's like a big muffin top. Okay. So when I'm putting that on, it doesn't feel good outside my body because, like, it's tight. But inside, it feels incredible. It feels like love because my soul loves the color, it loves the shape, and so I wear it for my soul. Okay, so we want that kind of, we want you to choose something that is really, really resonating with that part of you that is on the inside, because that's a clue to your future self, and it's the key to your future self. So when you're already dressed as the woman who has built your business, before you go live, you show up differently. Your posture changes, your voice changes, your confidence changes, and then the camera picks up on all that. I have gotten several comments about how comfortable I am on camera. And the reason I'm comfortable on camera is because and again, I'm saying I don't care. It's not that I don't care, it's that I'm just not focused on what is not working. I'm sharing with you right now the discomfort, but I'm not disparaging the discomfort. I'm not mad at the discomfort. I'll tell you what I'm mad at. I'm mad at this right here. This, because I wore green. I wore green with my green screen, and green screen does not like that. Okay, there you go. All right, let me get to number 4. I'm going really slow here. Let me speed things up. Number 4, um, number 4 is to invest in one signature piece. Okay, this thing is the thing that belongs to your future self, the woman you are becoming. That one piece must be unmistakably hers. It's the thing that puts maybe you out of your comfort zone, and but it's undeniably her. So maybe it's a jacket or a pair of earrings. For me, there's this jacket that I have that is definitely my future self. It is a well-loved jacket, and it's a little military jacket, and it just has so much panache, right? It is hers. When I put it on, I feel like I have become someone else. And it's not that it's far from me, it's just there's such a shift, and the jacket has been imbued with so much power that it's really incredible. So maybe it's a color that you don't normally wear, or it's something though that is definitely hers. I don't care how it makes you feel. It's important that you choose her. Now, I want you to make it a deliberate investment into the aesthetic of the woman that you are becoming. I want you to do this intentionally. Like it's almost like taking your daughter out for her birthday and you're going to buy her the one thing that she absolutely loves. Okay? Notice I'm not saying got to buy the whole wardrobe, just one thing. But doing this is going to become a signal to your subconscious mind that is like really, really significant. It's going to say, hey, she's real. And not only is she real in my heart and in my mind, but she's real in my pocketbook. And now she's real in my closet. She's got a place there in the closet. It could be a pair of shoes. It could be underwear, you know, but make sure that it is hers. And if it makes you uncomfortable, great. That's good. It means that you are willing to push out of your comfort zone for the sake of the woman you are becoming. Okay, number 5 is to wear color intentionally. So, color therapy, it's a real thing. Color is energy and it communicates before you say anything. I think this is one reason why my soul absolutely loves that fuchsia tube top that is so uncomfortable to wear, but she puts it on, I put it on, and she is just like, free. It's wonderful. So many women coaches will default to neutral. They wear black, they wear gray, white, and beige. Okay. Neutrals feel safe to women, and it's really unlikely to distract from the content. I get that. All right. But the woman you are becoming is not trying to blend in. She's really wanting to be found. She needs to be found. She needs to be seen. So you need to honor what she says because she also has strong intuition. And remember, she is magnetic. I would love it if you would, in the comments, drop me like if you were going to buy, if you were going to make an investment, or let me just ask you what your soul or your heart or your future self, the woman you are becoming, what is her style? I'd love to hear from you on that. Whether you're doing it, whether you're with me live right now or you're watching the replay, leave me a comment. Let me know the style of the woman you are becoming. And if you know those 3 words I mentioned earlier, let me know that too. But really, though, studying the psychology of color can be a great way to just spark some creativity in you, some enthusiasm as well, right? Um, yeah, like purple is the color of the crown chakra, and that can really communicate spiritual authority. It can communicate royalty, elegance, higher principles. Orange is about the obviously the sacral chakra, and that can represent creativity and warmth or sexuality. And you can wear red when you need to feel really powerful. That's the root chakra color. So just wear colors that belong to the woman you are becoming rather than colors that hide you. Yeah. All right. Number 6. I want you to let your body feel good first. And this is what I have been working on this week, what I've been sharing with you. So, the woman you are becoming is not at war with her body, unless, of course, you are making the decision to become a woman who is at war with her body. I do not think you are trying to make a decision to become a woman who is at war with her body. All right. So, the woman you are becoming has most likely made peace with her body, like I have made peace with my body. And it's not because it's perfect, but it's because she has decided that her body is the instrument through which she does her most important work, and it deserves to be dressed in a way that feels genuinely good rather than acceptable. Okay? That's the shift. I'm writing to you all from the shifts that I make. All right? And this is probably the most important shift I've ever made in my life. Understanding that this body simply is what it is, and I am in love with it. I'm in love with it. And the nappy hair, too, you know, under all this silky, luxurious wig hair, okay? Under all this hair is uh, a little nappy afro, which I adore. There you go. So making the decision to love your body before it becomes a condition. So to love your body before it reaches the condition that you want it to reach, unconditionally loving your body is a great way to start. And I know that it's not always easy to get there, and I have been working on it. But it does mean, though, that you're going to be inviting in a totally different vibration. If you were like me, repelling your body, to find love for your body, no matter what the size, um, that's a totally different vibration. That shift alone is enough to like completely uh derail whatever shadows you're carrying. You can knock off years of shadow work just by making that decision and carrying it truly. All right. So number 7, use getting dressed as a ritual. This is really important. So the woman you are becoming doesn't just throw on whatever's in the closet. She treats getting dressed as one of the first intentional acts of her day. It's deliberate. It's a practice of choosing who she's going to be before she interacts with anyone or anything. If you're somebody who does this already, please let me know in the comments that this is what I do, Crystal Lynn. I love my morning ritual of getting dressed because I know I've got some really good friends out there who do this. And then I've got some friends who are kind of like, oh, this is a chore. This is a disaster. So I totally get it. I've been both, but right now I'm definitely rocking the love. So understand that this requires like intention. So tomorrow's Lionsgate, my friend. Before you open your wardrobe tomorrow morning, take 30 seconds and ask, who am I choosing to be today? And then dress her. All right? All right, you all. Number 8, my last one. Dress for August 8th like it is the most important day of your year, because it is. So tomorrow is the peak of Lionsgate. It's 888 energy. So it's August 8th. That's 88. 2026. If you add those numbers together, that is an 8. And then on top of it all, if you multiply, or if you add 8 plus 8 plus 8, you get, uh-oh. What's 8 plus 8 plus 8? Uh, Hold on a second. I did that wrong. Y'all, I said that wrong. I said it wrong. Hold on, let me fix this. It's 8 August 8th, okay? Plus 2026 is 1. Sorry, my friends. And then if you add 8 plus 8 plus 1, you get 16, 17. And then 1 plus 7 reduces down to an 8. That's why I say it's a 888 day, because it is literally an 8 day on the 8th day of the 8th month. So the day comes down to an 8. So it's 888. It's a big deal. All right. It is the most powerful manifestation window of the year. And the Lionsgate portal rewards the woman who shows up as full, as bold, as unapologetic expression of who she is becoming. All right. Not the one who's hiding. So today of all days, today and tomorrow, all right, put on the color and really just go for it. Don't hide. Don't mess around. All right, that's it. Hey, last thing I'm going to say, the Liberated Coach retreat starts August 28th. And today is the last day that you can get it for just $97 for all 3 days. Goes up to $197 starting on Lionsgate. Starting on Saturday, it's $197. So get it today. Yep. My girl Zaina, she's on it as usual. She's got the link in the comments. So go ahead and grab that link. And I look forward to seeing you there. We're going to have fun. We're going to be building out your business, and you can learn more about it on the website. I'm going to go for now. All right. See you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Happy Lionsgate. Bye, my friends. Bye. Thanks for watching.